Hi, this is Linda. I'm just going to show you quickly how to set up lists for drop downs, saving you time in typing. So as you can see on my research log, I already have these drop downs. For my source type would be unknown, original, or derivative. So we're going to do the same thing on the to-do list in this genealogy research log. So the first thing I need to do is I need to create my list. And I'm going to do it under actions to perform because I'm going to be performing the same actions on my to-do list. So we're just going to go over and start a new page. And when you create your list, you want your list to not have any spaces between the rows. So the first thing is going to be, let's go prove birth date, and then we want to prove place of birth, and then we want to prove marriage date, prove place of marriage, and then prove death date, prove place of death. Now this is just a small list. Of course your list is going to be a lot longer as you find more things that you need to prove, but this is again just a sampling of what you do. So I've got all of this here. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to come down here, and I've got to name this list. So we're going to name this list to do proves. And you can name it whatever you like. Now, we want to keep it within the whole workbook so we can use this list on any page. If you look down here, this refers to this particular sheet and these particular cells. So we'll hit OK. So now we've created our list. We're going to go back over here to the to-do list. We're going to highlight this whole row because we want every one of them to have that drop down. We're then going to go up to the Data tab, and we're going to go Data Validation, and we want it to validate based off of a list. Now down here it asks us for the source of that list. So I'm going to just minimize it. I can then come over and click on that sheet 1 that I put here, and I can re-highlight the list. And as you see, it put in what I named that list. Now, if I had remembered what I named it, I could have just typed that in the box, equals to do proves. But I like to make sure I've captured everything, so I go back in and actually highlight it on the spreadsheet. So once that's done, we are now validating our criteria, allowing a list with the source of where we created our list. If we want to have something in there all the time in those cells and make it mandatory, if you take this box off, then it cannot be blank. So I leave it on just in case I don't know what I want to prove at this point. Go to the input message. If you wanted to show an input message when I got to that cell, if I didn't do it correctly, I could do that. But I don't need to worry about that. And then if there's an error in how you put it in, you can do a stop, a warning, or an information. But again, for this particular application, we don't really need that. Then I'm going to hit OK. So now when I click here, there's my drop down. I need to prove the birth date. I need to prove the place of birth. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to add this information in. Now I am using a shortcut on my keyboard to copy the information from above, and it is the Control semicolon button gives us the date, and the Control quote button gives us what is up above that cell. So again, all I have to do for here is I hit my control button, and then I hit the double or the single quote key, and it will copy that. So if I want to copy the date, I'll do control semicolon, first name again, control quote, surname, control quote. Now here I've got a drop down, and I want to prove his marriage date. I also need to prove his place of marriage. I need to prove his death date, and I need to prove his place of death. So I can then, another shortcut is I can just highlight his name and drag it down, and it should copy. There it goes. Computer's a little bit slow. I can highlight two dates so that it doesn't make the dates go up in number, and those are all today's date. So this is my dad, and these are the things I need to prove for him. But now on my actions to perform, I've got what I need to prove, and I don't have to type it, and that just saves a little bit of time. As time goes on and I realize that I need to prove his military records, or I need to prove something else for him, I can easily go over here to my sheet, add more items, and then just expand the list. When I go into here, I would just do my data validation, and I would just, it would still be called to do proves, and everything should be good. So hopefully this helps you out in just using Excel and making as many shortcuts as you can so that you don't have so much information to type. Until next time, this is Linda.